good morning, good evening, good afternoon, and good day. It's Gord, your bunny. Ha ha, just kidding, folks. And now, the real Gord. Hey, thanks for laughing along with me or laughing at me. Doesn't really matter. How are you all doing? I hope you're well. You saw the title. We're going to pitter patter and get at her right away. But first, it's minus 15. Minus 20 something with wind chill. I didn't read it in time. This is cold, friends. This is cold. You probably wonder, okay, Gordon, there's a virus going around. And here you are outside in the freezing cold, in minus 15 weather, zipping your hair into your coat, and doing a video outside. But there are reasons for it. First of all, I feel pretty safe. Second of all, the things I want to talk about are not things I want to talk about with Pasha in the house. He's home from school because he's sick. He's okay. But therein lays the rub. This is why I wasn't even going to do a video this morning, folks, because I've had a rough couple of days and I've kept it to myself because I don't want to increase panic, even though the panic in my head was pretty darn bad for a while. Basically, what I want to do, I'm going to attach two pretty good articles below. One is about good news about Canadian scientists isolating the virus and therefore able to replicate the virus on their own. The other is about what we can do as people to try to relieve our own anxiety. Everybody is anxious about this virus, particularly because never before have we had so much media clickbait, but also because of this virus is just a little different from others, and it seems to be moving differently. And we're getting so many notices and closures and different methods in dealing with it. They're all good stuff, but they pile on, and even the healthiest of minds will get anxious, scared, and worried, especially those of you who have older parents or grandparents or really young and maybe not too healthy people. It can get overwhelming. Now, I want to first say, you don't need to be overwhelmed. We're going to go through a bit of a talk about what we can do to make that overwhelm go away, because we're dealing, if a healthy mind is anxious, imagine our minds. When we have mental health issues such as anxiety, stuff like this can be absolutely overwhelming. But we have to keep calm and carry on. So first of all, Canadian scientists made a research breakthrough isolating the virus and growing copies of it. If you want to read about it, the technical details, but what it means is that if they can make copies of the virus, they don't need viral copies that are being taken from people. They can continue to keep making the virus and trying new vaccines to kill the virus, and thereby getting ahead of this whole thing. I also want to say, if you research it, the number of new cases in China is plummeting. They're getting behind it. It does mean there's an end. I feel somebody shoveling their walk. So, pitter patter, let's get at her. And also number two, the Prime Minister of Canada, his wife, does have this disease. She has been found positive for it. She is isolated. So that's the first major leader family to get infected, but it probably won't be the last. My friends, we need to exercise calm. This isn't going to be easy, so stick with me, friends. There are 5 things suggested in this article that we talk about, that we use to relieve our anxiety to some degree. By the way, Pasha's okay. My anxiety over the last couple of days, and the reason I'm doing this video, is Pasha started getting sick. And then yesterday after school, his nose was just running, and he said it ran all the way through school, and he has a sore throat. And I got worried and I got scared. But friends, he has no fever. And so I was testing him all night, and you know, every time I turned around, there was every page I clicked on my laptop, every time I opened my phone, I was told about something else, like the schools in Ontario being shut down. Shut the schools down. 35 or 40 cases in Ontario, schools are shut down. It probably happened in BC soon too. But these are all our attempts to get ahead of the disease, and that's good stuff. That's good stuff. So, friends, what are those 5 things we can do while my hands freeze? The most important is to understand it will pass. Just as all these other epidemics and pandemics have gone around this world, they all have an ending. It will pass. Realize that it's not one of these awfully, awfully horrible diseases. It is a flu. It is a flu. It is just new. Relax, breathe, understand that everyone wants to get in on the talking about it. I mean, heck, here I am doing it. I almost feel like maybe I should shut down for a bit, but no. Number 2, understand that everybody's being affected. It is not just you who's nervous about it. Your nerves are valid. They make us safe, which kind of leads into the number 3. No, that's actually number 2, is realizing everyone's being affected, is we are all affected. So your feelings, don't sit there and feel to yourself, oh my God, I'm just so scared of this pandemic and nobody else seems to be. Everyone's telling me to shut up. No, we're all affected. In some way or another, we either have somebody that we worry about, or we have a situation that's coming up, or there's travel. Everyone's affected. So we're all in the same boat. We can find community in that. We can talk to each other. Talk below, talk to me. I'll talk back. 3, avoid self-isolating if you're not sick. If you're not sick, get out there. Get out there. Do not be scared. Oh, practice social distancing. I don't necessarily disagree with social distancing. If you're going to talk to somebody you don't know, talk at a distance. Breathe slow. Breathe careful. Be smart. Wash your hands often. If you're outside, wear gloves. Get home, put the gloves away, wash your hands, wash your face. You're okay. Number 3, news in moderation, folks. This is hard. Like I said last night, every single page I clicked, do you want to learn more about the novavirus? I click a YouTube video and I get Government of Canada wants to know if you want to read this about the coronavirus. And I understand they're trying to get to everybody. But at the same time, they get to the people they got to last week 100 times extra. So you see a headline? If the headline bothers you, read the article, because usually the headline is trying to bother you to make you read the article. And I hate to say fall for the clickbait, but if that headline bothers you, it's going to stay in your head for the rest of the day. So read the article. But best, put your phone down. Try not to read the news. Do a once-a-day catch-up. Something isn't going to happen that's going to come out of the blue and go, oh my God, I wish I had read the news all day long. You know? And find your own. Number 5, find your own coping strategy. Find a way to get through the day. I have been marathoning a series on TV called Alone on the History Channel. I'm also going to start looking at Strongest Man in the World, Strongest Man in History Championships. I want to watch that. Grab a guitar, play the piano, pick up your old hobby, do something to keep yourself busy. Because, as I said in number 1, this too shall pass. Friends, now it's time for little known facts, friends. Yes, I'm still going to do it. A Japanese fighter pilot once dropped wreaths over the ocean to commemorate the dead from both sides. Yes, during a sea battle in the Pacific Ocean during December of 1940, 2 Royal Navy ships, the Prince of Wales and the HMS Repulse, were sunk by Japanese fighters. The following day, Japanese Flight Lieutenant Haruki Iki flew to the location of the battle and dropped 2 wreaths over the seas, one to commemorate the pilots of the Japanese Air Force who died, the other for the sailors of the British Navy who fought valiantly. Isn't that kind of... Well, I'll let you decide what words. Put them below. 4% of the Normandy beach is made up of shrapnel from the D-Day landings. More than 5,000 tons of bombs were dropped leading to the landings. Scientists have studied the sand on the beach and found bits of smoothed down shrapnel from landings, but they estimate that within 150 years, the beach will have lost any remaining shrapnel to rust and erosion. And finally, the saying, flying off the handle. It's a saying that it's actually from the 1800s, and it refers to cheap axe heads flying off their handle when going backwards to chop. Friends, peace and cheers, love and harmony. Stay safe, stay calm, carry on. Peace.